Hi everyone, welcome to Miles to Money, the weekly paydown series. This week we're going to be going over the March 22nd through March 28th. So I paid $63.23 to Singing River Hospital. That's medical bills. My balance is $505.65 now. I also made a principal payment to my passport. So I paid $300 on that, which brought the balance down to $55,964.24. Nope, that's wrong. The balance is now $55,964.42. After that, we paid the National Debt Relief again, $178. That balance is now down to $6,270.84. And I paid off the Capital One joint credit card for the passport's down payment. And that I paid $676.24, which brought that balance down to zero. So this week I ended up paying off $1,217.47. So that is great. I have worked a little less than I was working. I don't know. It's getting kind of tired. So, I don't know. That's kind of where we're at. So, hi everyone. Welcome to Miles to Money, the weekly paydown series. Today we're going to be talking about 322 through 328. So I have kind of eased up on some of the amount that I've been working. I had been working like 6 days a week constantly. I think I did like 6 weeks straight of that, and that was kind of wearing down on me. So I've taken a couple little breaks of working only 5 days, and then I worked 6 for a couple, and then I worked 5. This week is my 5th where I'm just doing 5 days. But I'm about ready to get tired again because I'm going to do 12 days straight. But there's a reason for that. Because I will be going to Kansas and then going back to Mississippi to get the passport and trade off vehicles. So I will not be in this vehicle for too much longer. And then I will go back to Kansas, see my kids and my nieces, and get to see the brand new little great niece that I have. And so I will get to see her and love on her for a little bit. And then I will come back here to Fargo, and hopefully by then the weather will be better, because let me tell you, I'm tired of the winter up here. But that's kind of where we're at. So I've been trying to take a little bit of care of myself. I'm still going to physical therapy, but I did go and get a massage last week, and that was nice. So I'm trying to utilize a few little things to try and make this easier, and so it's not just go to work, pay bills. Go to work, pay bills. Because all I feel like I'm doing is working, which, I mean, let's face it, all I'm doing is really working. But we got to do little things to try and make ourselves feel better too. And with gas prices going up, food seems like it's going up, everything's going to be going up. So yay for the fun of that. However, let's get into what we paid for the week. So what we've paid is $63.23 to Singing River Health Systems. That balance is now down to $505.65. We also paid for the first time a $300 principal payment to the passport, and that balance is down to $55,964.42. I paid $178 to National Debt Relief, and that balance is $6,270.84. And then we paid off the Capital One joint credit card for the deposit on the passport. So I paid $676.24, and that balance is back to zero. So I owe no more on credit cards, and hopefully I will not have to use it again. However, I will be going on Wednesday to take all my stuff down to the tax man and have them figure out my last 4 years of taxes. So we'll see how much that ends up costing me and the state. I don't know, but we'll see where it's at, and I'll try and figure out what I'm going to do once I know the balance of everything. But that's where we stand for this week. The total balance that we paid was $1,217.47 towards debt. So that made me feel good. I don't like when I only pay under $1,000 on debt every week. I think I got used to working those 6 days and getting those really big checks, and being able to make bigger payments towards my debt. This month probably is not going to look like the last few months, but this month and April aren't going to be as extensive on how much debt I pay, unless I end up taking out money from my high yield savings on my taxes for the next year to help pay down part of the last 4 years. It just depends on what's going to be financially better for me to do. And I can always just add that in as a bill to get that balance back up, because it's just a savings account for next year, and I have been trying to save a little bit extra. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. Guess we'll find out hopefully soon, and then I will update you guys on how that goes. But you guys have a blessed week, have a blessed day, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.